This is my WWE Royal Rumble 2010 pay-per-view review. The pay-per-view aired last night. And overall, I gotta say this pay-per-view from WWE for one of their pay-per-views from the Big Four, WrestleMania, the Royal Rumble, SummerSlam, and Survivor Series is a tad bit disappointing. Now, not saying it was a bad show. I would kind of say this was just a decent to average show from WWE, and like I said, for one of their Big Fours, it was a tad bit disappointing. But I would say the Royal Rumble match and the outcome of it did save the pay-per-view until to being in the category of being a terrible pay-per-view. Now, the first matchup was Christian versus Ezekiel Jackson for the ECW title. Now, got to give it to Christian. He actually pulled out a good match against Ezekiel Jackson, which was kind of surprising. What this match was, you pretty much saw Ezekiel Jackson use his size, power, and strength against Christian, and Christian used his quickness to counter that, and you actually saw some good back and forth stuff within this match. Pretty solid opener. Christian retains the ECW Championship after hitting the kill switch to Ezekiel Jackson. Like I said, pretty solid opener. I would give it 2.5 stars. Whole lot better than I was expecting, and Christian did pull out a good match against Ezekiel Jackson. I got to hand it to him right there. Then the next matchup was Miz versus MVP for the United States title, and this was a match that pretty much was just added to the pay-per-view at the last minute. And this match just wasn't a good match at all from any portion of this match. This match probably should haven't took place on this pay-per-view, and probably this time could have been given to one of the either given to the women's match or either given more time to the Undertaker and Rey Mysterio match, because this match just didn't interest me at all. The Miz, I would say, he's improved a tad bit in the ring. Now, his character and his mic work is the thing that really helps him a lot, but this match just wasn't anything good at all. I would say it was at least watchable. That's the best I would give it. And the Miz retains the United States title after pinning the MVP after a roll-up in a 2-star match. Then after the match, MVP attacked the Miz and hit the Playmaker. And actually, the crowd surprisingly actually kind of booed MVP after he did this post-match. So Miz kind of getting somewhat of a tweener reaction post-match within this match. And like I said, 2-star match, not that good at all. This match, probably something that shouldn't have really even took place on this pay-per-view. Then the next matchup was Sheamus versus Randy Orton for the WWE title. Now, some people might have enjoyed this match a little more than I did due to the in-ring psychology within this match, because that's the only thing I'll give this match any props with. This match was and did have a lot of good in-ring psychology, because you saw Randy Orton, you saw him working over Sheamus's left knee in this match, and Sheamus was working on Randy Orton's left arm, and you saw some good selling in this match, but overall the match kind of dragged on. It was a tad bit boring, and with these two in the ring, I wasn't expecting anything good at all. You saw some decent brawling. This match clearly shows that WWE needs to get the title off of Sheamus, which hopefully happens at the next pay-per-view at the Elimination Chamber. This match ended in disqualification after Cody Rhodes jumped the guardrail and he attacked Sheamus outside the ring, and then Sheamus got in the ring and Randy RKO'd Sheamus, and then the referee DQ'd the match due to Cody Rhodes' interference. Now, the one thing that kind of made this not that good at all with the DQ finish was, if you wanted to do the DQ finish with one of the members of Legacy, somewhat costing Randy Orton the title match within this match, it would have been better if Ted DiBiase would have been the one to get Randy Orton's match DQ'd other than Cody Rhodes, because then after the match, Randy Orton pretty much attacked Cody Rhodes. Then Ted DiBiase came out there, made the save for him. Then Randy Orton attacked him, so he was attacking both members of Legacy. Then from behind, Sheamus was behind him, and he hit the big boot to Randy Orton. Then after that, Randy Orton was laid out in the ring, and you saw the Legacy members, Cody Rhodes and Ted DiBiase, just walk to the back. Now, this match and just the DQ finish and everything, it wasn't good at all. I'd give it 1 3/4 stars. It wasn't a terrible match, and really the only reason why I'm not giving it any worse than that, and maybe even 2 stars. Maybe I'll at least give it 2 stars, because it did have some good in-ring psychology, and that was the one thing that did kind of help the match. But a DQ finish in one of your world title matches at the Rumble just isn't that good to do, and it's really, hurting, Sheamus as far as a champion. Now, I don't like Sheamus at all, and think he never should have been world champion. But if you wanted him to be world champion, you at least should make him seem like, you know, an actual guy that's nothing, that actually seems like he's worthy of holding the title. And he's been pretty much, he's had this title for a month, and a little over a month, and WWE has pretty much just booked him as a complete fluke, and he's not really even the focal point of Raw, which that should be the focal point, is the world champion. Like I said, I don't like him, and hopefully this title does get off of him at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, which needs to happen, because if Sheamus is in a world title match at WrestleMania, that WrestleMania world title match that he's in is going to be completely terrible. Then the next matchup was for the Women's Championship. This was Michelle McCool versus Mickie James for the Women's title. And, you know, this actually had some decent build-up to it. Now, the whole Piggy James storyline and stuff like that was kind of idiotic, but for a women's feud, you actually had some good build-up to it, and actually was built up for a little bit, but the payoff for this was terrible. You had Mickie James come out there and pretty much within 20 seconds defeat Michelle McCool. So the match that pretty much, you know, these two have been kind of building this up, them two have been building this feud up for, you know, 3 or 4 months. Mickie James ends up, you know, with the payoff for her winning the Women's Championship, winning it in 20 seconds. Then after the match, all the SmackDown Divas come out there with the cake, and you see Layla and Michelle McCool in there, and they just throw the cake on her, and that's the end of that segment. Since it was only 20 seconds, can't give it any rating, so NA for that match. Then the next matchup was the other world title match of the evening with Rey Mysterio versus Undertaker for the World Heavyweight Championship. Now, if you saw their match on the SmackDown edition of the SmackDown edition of the Christmas edition of SmackDown, you pretty much saw the same exact match. Now, this match might have been given maybe 3 or 4 minutes longer, but it was pretty much the same kind of match they put on there. Still a good match, but the problem with it was that it was way too short. That was the only problem with it. It was way too short. If their match was given, you know, 5 to 10 more minutes, they probably could have had an excellent match. Now, still good stuff in it, and I enjoyed it. The ending of the match comes where Rey Mysterio hits 2 619s to the Undertaker. Then he goes for the West Coast Pop. Undertaker catches him and hits an elevated last ride to Rey Mysterio to retain the World Heavyweight Championship, which kind of needed to happen, him retain the championship, kind of to, you know, at least keep the idea of Shawn Michaels, you know, having a chance to win the Rumble and taking on Taker, having that still stay alive right there. The match-wise, it was good, but it could have been better and should have been given more time. 2 3/4 stars. Wasn't a terrible match, but like I said, should have been given more time. Then the last match was the Royal Rumble match. This was a pretty good Royal Rumble match. Now, there are probably going to be a lot of people complaining about some portions of it, which I will agree with some people saying that this Rumble match right here pretty much didn't help to really elevate or really showcase or have any of the, you know, new stars or up-and-coming stars or any of the, you know, lower mid-carder guys really, you know, shine within the Royal Rumble match like some years they've done. Like last year's Royal Rumble, they actually, you know, had Cody Rhodes and Ted DiBiase pretty much shine in that Rumble, especially Ted DiBiase and John Morrison as well. In this Rumble, really the only people that really shine were already people that were former World Heavyweight Champions. Now, the first 2 people in there, number 1 was Dolph Ziggler, and number 2 was Evan Bourne. They went back and forth for a little bit. Actually, pretty good stuff from Evan Bourne. Then number 3 was CM Punk. Now, I'm not going to go through every single number. I'm just kind of doing this at the beginning to kind of discuss a few things that happened within it and kind of just highlight some of the main things that happened within the Rumble match. CM Punk came in at number 3. He eliminated Evan Bourne and Dolph Ziggler. And then CM Punk at the beginning kind of kept on eliminating a couple people. He eliminated Beth Phoenix at one point. Beth Phoenix was in this Rumble. She actually defeated the Great Khali. And actually one thing kind of surprising within this Royal Rumble match was you didn't have any of the giants, you know, the guys like Mark Henry, The Big Show, Kane, or Great Khali really last long in the match, which really was kind of surprising because I think this is the first time they've ever booked it in that type of manner. And then Triple H was number 8. Triple H eliminated CM Punk after CM Punk pretty much did a lot of good stuff at the beginning. And then after that, you saw Triple H and Drew McIntyre go at it. Then Triple H, he eliminated a number of people after that. Kane came in at number 12. When he came in, he pretty much did the typical thing he does at every Rumble, dominates at the beginning, knocks everyone out, hits the choke slam on a few people, and that's what he does. And then at one point, MVP comes out there. Miz attacks him on the stage. And then pretty much right after that, I think number 15 or 16, you saw the Miz come out. Then when the Miz was in the ring, saw MVP come out there. MVP eliminated the Miz and at the same time eliminated himself. So continuing their little feud for the U.S. title right there within this Rumble match. And then you saw at number 18, you saw Shawn Michaels come in there. And Shawn Michaels, when he came in, he started just eliminating a lot of people. Like, he eliminated Carlito, he eliminated Cody Rhodes, he eliminated Ted DiBiase, he eliminated John Morrison. Then him and Triple H teamed up to eliminate Drew McIntyre in there. So then it was just them two in the ring. They stared at each other. Then number 19 was John Cena. So you saw three big stars right there, Triple H, John Cena, and Shawn Michaels in the ring right there. Shawn Michaels and John Cena did some pretty good stuff in here. And surprisingly, Shawn Michaels, he turns on Triple H in this match, eliminates Triple H after a super kick, and Triple H is eliminated that way. So surprisingly, someone like Triple H is eliminated very, very early in this match. That was the one thing that was the hugest shocker, I would say, within this Rumble match was someone like Triple H. He was eliminated fairly early within this match, which was really surprising. Then you had Shelton Benjamin come in there at number 20. Cena eliminated him. 21, Yoshitatsu. Cena eliminated him. 21 was the Big Show. Big Show came in there a little dominating at first. He eliminates that he doesn't eliminate someone yet, but then number 23 was Mark Henry. 24 was Chris Masters. Big Show eliminates Masters. 25 was R-Truth, and he actually came in there. He only eliminated two people. I think he only eliminated maybe two people within this match, but the two people he eliminated was kind of big for him. At one point, you saw Mark Henry and the Big Show, them two trying to eliminate each other, and then R-Truth came out there and eliminated them two while they were trying to eliminate each other. So R-Truth, he eliminates two big guys, Mark Henry and the Big Show, which was kind of something big for him, which probably really like the only, kind of new face to WWE or kind of younger star or guy that's not, an established star within WWE actually, kind of did something within this match. Kofi Kingston, unfortunately, he didn't really do much in this match. Now, you saw Jack Swagger. He came in at number 26. Number 27 was Kofi Kingston. Number 28 was Chris Jericho. Cena eliminates Kofi within this match. Number 29 was the surprising return of Edge. Now, this is kind of talked about. A lot of people were kind of speculating Edge to possibly show up at the Rumble, and he did show up at the Rumble because it was kind of somewhat of a surprise and somewhat not. It was one of those surprises that was good to see, though. Even though a lot of people knew he was probably going to be coming back at the Rumble, it was at least a good surprise to have him, show up at the Rumble. And he kind of got a face reaction from the crowd. And then then he eliminated Chris Jericho. So with that, it kind of looks like they might do something with Edge and Chris Jericho, maybe at WrestleMania. And then number 30 was Batista. So the final four in the Royal Rumble match were Batista, Cena, Shawn Michaels, and Edge. Those were the final four in the Royal Rumble match. Now, the first of the four to get eliminated was HBK. He got eliminated by Batista at one point in the match. And then after this, Shawn Michaels pretty much frustrated knowing that he cannot take on Undertaker because he didn't win the Royal Rumble match. He comes to the ring, super kicks the ref. Then not that long after that, Cena eliminates Batista, so you might see something with Cena and Batista at WrestleMania with the elimination right there. Kind of earlier in the match with Triple H and Shawn Michaels. Maybe they are changing their minds with the whole Undertaker and Shawn Michaels match, and maybe doing Triple H and Shawn Michaels. And then the final two in this match were Edge and John Cena. Now, I was kind of expecting these two, maybe with the final two, them lasting and going at each other maybe for a few minutes, but no, it ended fairly quick. Edge eliminates John Cena, so Edge wins the Royal Rumble. And, even though it was kind of somewhat one of those predictable ways that some people thought were going to happen, I thought it was one of those good things that it was somewhat surprising, somewhat not at the same time, but it worked out pretty good. Don't have any problem with Edge winning the Rumble. The Rumble match, I'll probably give it 3 3/4 stars. It wasn't an excellent Royal Rumble match. I thought it was a little too many quick finishes within the match. Not quick finishes, but quick eliminations within the match. And that was one of the problems, and you really didn't see any younger stars really shine within the match. All the stars that really shined in the match or did a lot of stuff in the match were already established stars. That was one of the downfalls of the match. But Edge winning, I don't know what this is going to lead to. Probably we won't really know the full answers to this until after the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, which I'm expecting them to maybe go in two ways. Maybe in the Raw Chamber, maybe John Cena will win the world title and Sheamus will lose the title at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. Maybe they'll do Edge and John Cena at WrestleMania, because them two have worked together good in the past. I wouldn't mind seeing them two in a singles match at WrestleMania, or since they did the thing with Edge coming in there and pretty much quickly eliminating Jericho within the match, maybe they'll do Jericho win the title in one of the chamber matches and then have Edge and Jericho for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania. And the way the crowd reacted, pretty much, I think Edge is, he's somewhat probably going to be a tweener still, but it looks like instead of leaning more to a heel, maybe now he's going to be more of a face than he has been a heel, which won't have any problem with that, because he's been a heel for so long. It'd be kind of, refreshing to see him back as a face. And I don't think they're going to go in the way where he's going to be kind of like the John Cena type babyface. He's going to be kind of like that babyface, kind of like Austin was. He's still going to do some of the heelish stuff, but instead of getting the heel reaction, he's going to get the face reaction. So overall, I would give this Royal Rumble, I would get a 6.5 out of 10. It wasn't a bad Royal Rumble pay-per-view, but for one of their big four pay-per-views, it's kind of a little bit disappointing. I would say it's more or less an average pay-per-view, and if you go out your way to check stuff out, definitely watch the Royal Rumble match, because almost all the time it's always good, and it was good again this year. So that's the one match of the pay-per-view at the Royal Rumble that pretty much always delivers, and pretty much can't really think of really any bad one. I mean, even the Rumble 99, I enjoyed that. This Royal Rumble wasn't as good as some of the previous years' Royal Rumbles, but still, this was a good Royal Rumble match. It had some entertaining stuff in it. Edge winning, it was cool to see. And, the undercard for it, I would say, was just, kind of passable, most of that stuff. But like I said, I'll give the pay-per-view about a 6.5 out of 10, kind of, an average WWE pay-per-view. Really, nothing special, but if you do go out your way, check out the Royal Rumble match, and even check out the Rey Mysterio and Undertaker match. That was actually pretty good as well. So, yeah, that's it for my WWE Royal Rumble 2010 pay-per-view review. Peace.